What's going on, everybody? It's Big Dave. This is Wrestling Montage Media. Thank you for joining me for another video. We're going to react to the news from WrestleMania. The original link will be in the description for the whole video. Let's go.
Now let's move on to the news. Now our first story looks at John Cena headlining the 2026 Hall of Fame. Our top story today takes a look ahead at the 2026 Hall of Fame, as it's been revealed that all signs are pointing towards John Cena headlining the class. According to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer Radio, the belief in WWE is that Cena is headlining in 2026. Belief is seen as very likely the 2026 Hall of Fame main eventer. This is obviously a huge deal, and whilst it may come as a surprise to see Cena inducted this early, it's likely that he's informed WWE of his availability, and WrestleMania 42 weekend fits him perfectly. This also means that Cena will make an appearance on the WrestleMania broadcast itself. However, Cena has outright stated that future appearances will be in a suit, so Cena strutting to the ring in a suit will be a unique visual to say the very least. He did say that he was hanging up those jorts for good come 13th December. Now it goes without saying that this is one of the most justified Hall of Fame inductions of all time, and Cena going in at the same time as Stephanie McMahon is rather fitting. Cena credits Stephanie for in essence saving his entire career, and this likely played a role in Cena picking this select weekend to be inducted. Now, things can change between now and April, but as for now it does indeed look like Cena is Hall of Fame bound in 2026, so we will see him next year as well.
It only makes sense. Why would John Cena wait to go into the Hall of Fame? I mean, if you're serious about hanging him up, definitely just go in the year after. I really think that's a really good idea. And the whole thing with Stephanie, giving her credit to her, she literally saved his career. I don't know if y'all know the story about Stephanie. They were on a bus one day, and Cena was rapping. But this is before his gimmick. This is when he was struggling and he was trying to really figure out and find his character. So, just for fun, I guess he would just freestyle just for fun. And Stephanie overheard him, and she was like, you should use that. You should, bring that to TV. And then all of a sudden we see Thugonomics and Word Life. So yeah, he contributes that to her. And then with them going in the same year would be, it just works out perfectly. It's great.
Next up, the real reason why WWE delivered a shock title change. Now on Raw live from the famous Madison Square Garden Arena, Maxine Dupree won her first singles gold in WWE by defeating the legendary Becky Lynch. In fact, she now holds a singles title before Chad Gable, and don't get me started on all those rumors that he won the Speed Championship. That's El Grande Americano. But this came as a major surprise to many, and there are a few
the poke of the finger point of doom.
Potential reasons why WWE decided to deliver the shock title change. Well, the first reason is that it helps build up the Women's War Games matchup for next weekend. AJ Lee has formally joined the babyface side of things, and Lynch is likely going to join the heel team. Due to AJ returning and distracting Lynch, this gives Lynch a justified reason to team with the heels. This is smart storytelling, as Lynch isn't just joining the heels for the sake of it. This also gives the match added stakes, as Lynch has something to fight for. Her arch rival is present in the match, and she's not just fighting random babyfaces because it happens to be Survivor Series. This is the type of booking WWE really needs to integrate, especially if War Games is going to be a yearly staple on the WWE calendar. Now, the second reason is that it gives WWE a huge shocking moment on Raw. Raw is supposed to be WWE's flagship show, and this is the type of content that Netflix executives will want moving forward. One of the things the WWE product is missing is genuine surprises, and this extends to title changes. This type of booking used to be commonplace during the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era. However, in the modern day, extended title reigns are popular booking mechanisms. And finally, WWE giving Dupree the title shows that they actively reward talent for getting better and getting over with the audience. Dupree has been impressive in the feud with Lynch, and despite her inexperience, she's managed to connect with the crowd, which is hard to do in 2025 if you're somewhat limited in the ring. And let's face it, Dupree isn't exactly a wrestling machine. Dupree's win sends a clear message to talent up and down the card, and it'll be interesting to see how Dupree's reign plays out. Next.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the fact that we have followed her just over the last couple of years, and really people get behind her because how naive her character is, and just really how much we know that she don't know what she's doing in the ring for the most part. So he knocked it out. Whatever the narrator said, he knocked out the part. He said everything that really makes sense, and he said some things from a different perspective that I really didn't look at, like how it does make sense for Dupree to win the championship, but then for Becky to get into it to get back at her. Now I didn't know that Maxine was a part of the babyface Survivor Series team. So I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, she want to get into the match to get back at her, not just a rematch for the title. They can always fight for the title again down the line, probably on Raw again. But Becky Lynch don't need the championship back. But yeah, she not just gonna let her go that easy. I mean, we seen how long the Becky and Lyra Valkyria thing lasted, and that overstayed his welcome. But and man, where is Lyra? Where she been? Is she gonna be like a? Is she gonna come and do something in the Survivor Series match or something? Who knows?
Up, did Brock Lesnar join the Vision?
No, flat out no.
And last night on Raw, Brock Lesnar returned to WWE TV to attack the babyface team for Survivor Series War Games. Does this mean that Lesnar is now officially a member of the Vision?
No, it was just a favor to Paul Heyman.
Well, the Lesnar and Paul Heyman relationship is pre-established, and as we saw at WrestlePalooza, the two are once again on good terms. It's likely going to be explained on Raw next week that Heyman simply made the call and Lesnar is doing the bidding of Heyman. And whilst it's unlikely that Lesnar is an official member of the faction, it's possible that he acts as a secondary member on Raw moving forward. Lesnar is a part-time talent and his appearances are going to be few and far between.
Right.
He's only expected to work the major shows, so whenever Lesnar appears on television, having him at the side of Heyman and having him associated with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed is a very smart move and would instantly elevate both Breaker and Reed. This would also subtly help build up the eventual Lesnar vs Breaker match, which has been heavily rumored for a future WrestleMania event.
I could see it happening, but it's just like I just don't like the force, the push of Braun Breaker's the future of WrestleMania, Bronson Reed the future of WrestleMania. Where? It need to be built. You can't just say it now. I mean, you can. Okay, Paul Heyman, he does have foresight. He can see things, right? Of course, he's a part of the creative, and he gives everybody advice. Maybe they do have plans, but we haven't seen those actual plans play out. We haven't seen them play out yet from the vision, the vision of the mindset of where they really have them going step by step. So with Paul Heyman working with Brock again, and then kind of lead into a Bronson Reed or a Braun Breaker match one of these days. I can see it coming together like that.
Another factor is that it's entirely possible that Lesnar pins one of the reigning world champions inside of War Games. Lesnar challenging for the world title again would be a huge deal, and we could easily look towards Lesnar challenging either man at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Due to Rhodes being in an established feud with Drew McIntyre, there's a strong chance that Punk is the one that's pinned via an F5 in the Survivor Series main event. Next up, an epic return on Raw. Raw was truly the show of returns. The show featured the returns of Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, AJ Lee, and Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler's pop for his match versus Solo Sikoa was a clear sign that fans really missed the show off and wanted back in WWE.
You can kind of rival it with his Money in the Bank cash in back in 2013 when he cashed in on Alberto Del Rio. Now, that was huge, and this was just probably on the same level, if not bigger than that. I think people really miss Ziggler for the simple fact of he was considered a jobber, right? He always lost, and that just became a thing that if you see Dolph there, he gonna lose. I think people just really miss the quality of a character he is because you don't really. I mean, they're not really building stars to the level of like him or somebody who. Because for a long time he really tried to find his footing, but then I didn't think Ziggler had a character for a long time until it was revealed that his character was really depicted off like an 80s type of vibe. And I definitely see it and I get it now. But with anybody else, I'm not really watching NXT much. Maybe it's some guys on the come up that has a character. I don't really see anybody on the main roster like that right now.
After his match versus Sikoa, fans flooded social media as it urged WWE to bring Ziggler back into the fold. Triple H's photo with Ziggler on X was swamped with fans demanding that they bring him back, and due to WWE often giving in to social media pressure, it's
The finger point of doom.
not out of the realm of possibilities to see WWE commit to giving Ziggler another run in the company. Again, like we mentioned in the review, it's all down to Ziggler on whether he wants another run in WWE, as they've dropped the ball on him multiple times.
Oh man,
Next up,
tell me about it. That was his whole career was them dropping the ball. Are you kidding me? He had some good moments and spots in matches, but man, there was no period of time. It wasn't for a long time where because it was always Cena there, it was always Orton there. Really, Cena and Orton dominated those times. So Yeah, it was always people around Dolph. He was never the guy. He's kind of like Seth Rollins right now, to be honest.
A rumor killer on a top star being at Raw. Now, before Raw went live last night, it was reported that Liv Morgan was backstage at the show. This then led to speculation that the former world champion was going to return on the show in some capacity. Now, Morgan didn't appear on the show, and it's now surfaced thanks to a report from PW Insider that Morgan wasn't backstage and she wasn't even in New York. For those who've asked about rumors of a Liv Morgan return on Raw tonight, those claims are incorrect. Morgan is not in New York City and was never scheduled to appear on that show.
Liv Morgan returning at the Royal Rumble, just flat out. I mean, it's yeah.
PWInsider.com can confirm. And Morgan is still reportedly recovering from her surgery early in the year, and she is expected to return sometime in early 2026. But you know who was there?
The Rumble.
Shane McMahon. Yeah,
Shane
Raw was
O'Mac.
a hot-ticketed
I seen that picture.
event, and one name who attended the show was Shane McMahon with his son. Numerous fans in attendance noted that the former European champion was in attendance. McMahon confirmed
European champion
via Instagram that he was in attendance with his son. According to McMahon, he wanted to celebrate John Cena and pay tribute to one of the greatest of all time.
That's cool. That's really cool. Now we don't know the terms that Shane and Triple H are on. Yeah, I think that's cool. He was there to support Cena.
Next up, WWE furious with a fired wrestler. Now, Gigi Dolan stirred up some controversy after she revealed on a podcast that contracts for performers in NXT can be as low as $30,000 a year.
Oh my goodness. No, I've been meaning to watch this video with Denise Salcedo and Gigi Dolan.
Pointing out that many fans assume working in WWE automatically means being rich, but not being the case. After she made that comment on the podcast, there was a little bit of backlash towards her, as it seemed that she was complaining about the salary. But she mentioned, "Let me just clarify, never did I say that there was anything wrong with this salary, nor was I complaining about it, especially considering this is starting out. When I started wrestling, I was lucky to get $20 after driving all night just to get a spot on the show. I was simply making a point that contracts and salaries can vary greatly depending on where and who you are, and with TV living expenses, it can be tough. A lot of you have took this and made it into something it's not." However, that wasn't enough for WWE, as according to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer, WWE officials were angered by a statement that $30,000 figure being attached to NXT contracts. She mentioned that people make as little as $30,000. Man, people in WWE were not happy with that interview, because nobody's making $30,000 in NXT. The NXT deal started at $75,000.
Wow.
Now, it's
So that's pretty good starting out.
possible that Gigi Dolan was talking about the WWE's ID program, the very bottom of developmental. However, it seems that the damage has already been done, and WWE were not happy about that statement as it gives a false impression. And finally,
Yeah, you got to be very specific. Don't just say, the NXT people that's on TV making, an average salary of, of someone, and it just does no offense to anybody who's working in any type of jobs, but like somebody in the retail service, you know what I'm saying? And you in pro wrestling traveling, you on TV and you making this about the same. So yeah, I think that was a misconception. And people just took it the wrong way, just like they always do online.
WWE high on a star. Now, final story today looks at a report related to Javon Evans.
Yeah.
Evans impressed last night on Raw with an
I like this kid. I like him a lot, and I can say kid because he is 21, and I graduated high school 21 years ago. Wow.
incredible match versus Gunther, and the sky is truly the limit for the young upstart. Now, a new report from Body Slam Plus via Patreon has revealed that WWE execs believe that Evans is the present and future of WWE. Evans has made quite the impression with WWE brass since signing. Over the last few months, Evans has been on NXT, SmackDown, TNA, Raw tonight, and a AAA event later this week. Multiple execs in WWE believe that Evans is not only the present but the future of WWE. The amount of exposure that Evans has gotten recently speaks volumes to the level of confidence that WWE has in him as ultimate babyface. Evans has big time potential on the main roster, and hopefully they'll give him the platform to get over on either Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, man, I'm really happy to see that. Much success to Javon Evans. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does throughout his career, his young career right now. He all over the place, paying his dues and doing what he need to do. Shout out to Javon Evans, man.